Hi, my name is Tom Hadding and I'm the author and the creator of this YouTube channel dedicated to education, and we're looking at the genius of the Beatles. This is episode 2 and I've split this into several parts because it's rather a long study. So this is part 1. This is me. I'm the author of the channel. This is Lennon and McCartney, and this is a reflection on the fact that the study is mostly about Beatles musicology from the 1958 period to 1970 period. So let's make a start. Now, while Lennon and McCartney are renowned for their collaborative songwriting, and they're very famous for it, their individual styles differed in subtle ways, creating a dynamic synergy that contributed to their success. John Lennon's songwriting style often reflected a raw, introspective, and sometimes confrontational approach. Consider the songs such as Help, Revolution, etc., etc. He drew inspiration from personal experiences, from anxieties, for example, the song Help, philosophical ideas, as exemplified in Strawberry Fields, which was the name of the orphanage in Liverpool where he lived, nearby. Lennon's songwriting was often characterized by a directness and an honesty that resonated with listeners, even when expressing controversial viewpoints. Many of his statements were controversial, stemming from his tendency to articulate his thoughts candidly, and his willingness to challenge societal norms and express unconventional perspectives through his music contributed to the Beatles' image as a band that pushed boundaries and provoked thought. Now, I'd like now to look at my particular viewpoint about the genius of Lennon. I don't think Lennon was an average songwriter. I think he was an absolute genius. And I want to show you some of the underlying mechanisms that are there to be discovered. Now, let's consider 2 songs written by Lennon alone. There's a Place, one of his very early songs, and In My Life. I know controversially that McCartney claims to have written some of the music, but for the moment I'm going to go with the viewpoint that these are 2 Lennon songs. Now, you'll notice that the song There's a Place has as its first line, there's a place. The song In My Life has as its first line, there are places. How do they differ? Well, this is a singular noun and this is a plural noun. So the only difference between these 2 lines is one of number. Lennon was aware when he was writing There's a Place, he was using a singular noun. When he was writing There are Places, he was using a plural noun. That's a definitive mechanism that Lennon understood. Now let's go to one of his best songs, This Boy. Now, very popular, of course, it featured in the film, but you'll notice that the song contains 2 demonstrative pronouns. It includes this and that. Now you may say, oh, that's coincidental that he wrote those 2 words. It's not. He was aware that he was using demonstrative pronouns. Now I would challenge you, go to any other songwriter and show me that they have written songs that include this and that. Do a Google search and then leave some comments for me. Another great song of his, Anytime at All. Well, you think he got in, had a cup of coffee, took out his guitar or dabbled at his piano and then came up with Anytime at All. Okay. The fact is, Lennon knew that he was linking 2 adverbs of quantity. Any is an adverb of quantity. All is an adverb of quantity. Lennon knew exactly what he was doing. Now, this is really interesting. Now, I've been a Beatles fan since 1962. I remember the first time I heard Love Me Do on the radio. I wasn't too fond of Love Me Do when I first heard it. I'm not that keen on Love Me Do now, but I certainly remember many of the successors, including Please Please Me, etc., etc., and the international furore that caused. Now let's look at some of his early songs. Ask Me Why, It's Only Love, Bad to Me, Do You Want to Know a Secret? Okay, he always dismissed these as being average to good, but no big deal. I mean, I think It's Only Love, if you haven't heard it, go back in time and listen to it. I think it's a great, great song, a classic. Bad to Me and Do You Want Bad to Me he gave to another artist, Billy J. Kramer. I think it's a great classic by Lennon. Do You Want to Know a Secret? There's a version by George Harrison, of course. Classic songs. These are 4 great songs, but I want to draw your attention to this one, Ask Me Why. Because he wrote 2 songs. One has the verb to ask, and the other one has the verb to tell. Now, do you think it's coincidental that he constructed one song with the word ask and one song did the word tell? It's not. He was using a standard mechanism, a linguistic mechanism, that if you follow the works of Paul Simon, you follow the works of Smokey Robinson, you follow the works of many great songwriters, you will definitely see that they understood and understand this sort of mechanism. I hope you like part 1. If you like part 1, please return and watch part 2. Remember to subscribe, add a like, and please add a comment.